face it. You've got to lift yourself up. Try again. One day you will break through. What you long for will find you. Through all the hard times, I always seem to find the light in your eyes.
Short overview of this week's program. We start with your sign, talk about your week, the potential energies. That is section 1. Section 2, from Tokyo Nights. 5D, 5-dimensional upgrading methods. How do you expand and go one step further towards your potential? I call it 5D, but it's really multidimensional. We are going into if you are doubting spirituality or your spirituality, if you are doubting if you can get any further. Here in section 2 is how to get the proof for yourself and how to manifest it in your life. Welcome. Hi there, Aquarius, and welcome to your modern shaman, Maria and RainbowLand, here with the weekly intuitive astrological forecast with tarot cards and astrology cards for the week that starts at the 3rd of December and ends at the 10th of December 2018. Starting off here from Denmark, actually my hometown, my childhood room that I was in, because I just got an operation 2 days ago. So my mother's dad, is taking care of me here because I can't drive. So the first section is going to be from Denmark, where we go into your sign. Take one astrology card, one tarot card, depending on if more falls out or not while I'm shuffling. And then we're gonna go into the deeper levels of the dimensions and the purpose, our purpose here on the planet, your purpose, how to hear and tune into these things. Also concerning the deeper astrological aspects of this week for all of us, while I'm filming the Tokyo Nights. Da, 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 da. There's some song about the Tokyo Nights, the lights of Tokyo. I was in Tokyo when I made this, and I was above the air in an airplane, filming down on Japan, filming down on Russia, and beautiful, beautiful footage in section 2. Welcome to this program. So this week, Venus is going back into your career sector. Let me just put on these glasses. This is interesting because after a while she was retrograding in Libra in your 9th house, where you were expanding your mind, and now she's going into your worldly interactions where you are more career driven. And Monday this happens, where you're more oriented and focused upon your career, your worldly interactions, your goals, your ambitions, how you appear in the world and what you create. And with Venus here, because she's a benefic, she's always giving something extra to us wherever she goes. And here, of course, it's going to make you seem more like an authority to other people, making you seem like someone who has really got your stuff together. You're really good at what you do, or you're someone you can trust. You're an authority figure in your field. And decision-making people, so people who are influential in the right areas, is going to listen to what you say, and here more likely to listen to what you say, because your people skills will be better as well. And since Mercury is also, actually Sunday he retrograded into this area as well, just in the other end, close to Sagittarius. Venus came from Libra. And Thursday he will go forward, he will be moving forward in this area, so this is also going to strengthen it. But if there's been some kind of imbalance or business or working problem you couldn't solve, this is your chance to do something about it this week, definitely. But Venus in the 10th can also be, because Venus is relationships. So we are talking about relationships in the 10th. It's definitely more traditional sorts of relationships, where issues like marriage, or should we move in together and get this up to another level in a traditional sense, you know. Astrology card of the week. So the more traditional elements of romance, or perhaps you're trying to move towards some kind of leveling up in your relationship, is what I'm trying to say, making the structure of your relationship even more solid. Something that ties your relationship even more together. Card of the week for the Capricorns. 4th house, roots. This is where we have Uranus breaking down the old barriers that you have had in this area. And it's funny that we're also talking about this with the relationship. 4th house is the opposite of the 10th house, where the 10th house is your status in the world. The 4th house is not in the world, but in your personal life, in your home life. So Uranus is definitely probably gonna, Uranus being your ruler in this section of Aries for the last time in your life, depending on if you're very young. It will come around again when you're 100, or more. For the last time, Uranus, your ruler, who's known for breaking down any wall, is a barrier where you attach to something not healthy for you. You resolve any tension for you to break free within this area and be more open. So I'm having this earplug so that I can make sure that the microphone is working. With this Mercury retrograde, I had enough problems for technical stuff, so now I'm just like triple checking everything. So about your roots, your emotional, the more emotional sphere, we of course also have a new moon in Sagittarius. That is your natural house, 11th house, and this is definitely gonna make your social skills like shine even more, and maybe you're just gonna be more chance to do something more about some kind of friendship, hanging out with people, making positive connections, and planning ahead, reunions, having fun. But the sun is in square to Neptune and Mars over there in your 2nd house. So there can be something going on in the background. And I say the background because Neptune over Mars, Neptune is going to put a veil upon things. So it's like a what do you call it, duvet over Mars is like action. Yeah, but Mars with a duvet on top. It's like something is clouded, not so visible within the sector, perhaps. You need really clear communication around your finances or resources. Also because it could be, since it's linking up with your social house, with your friends and groups of people, that someone is spending your money, or every time you go out, you're the one who's paying, or vice versa. Like, make sure there's a balance and someone is not trying to just escape the bill or something like that. So, or maybe someone is unclear about a matter that causes you to doubt either them or yourself. If there's someone who always use your better side to let you pay for everything, make sure that maybe you keep the friendship and the business apart. Don't mix business and pleasure is what they call it here. Where's the card of the week? Sorry, the earplug is not, my ears were not designed for earplugs. For sure. That's a classic. Oh, I'm talking about clarity, and we get the Page of Wands. A new sort of clarity might be coming your way. We have Mercury coming in, as I said, into your 10th house of career and your worldly interactions. So this is a card of clarity, mental clarity, clear communication, and starting over, because it's the Page, it's not the King. This is a new thing going on communication-wise. So, as I said, if there's been some business or working problem you couldn't solve, this is your chance to do something about it, right? But the Sun and Jupiter is also important, and Jupiter is going to be here in your social sector for a long time. So make sure you have clear communication and clean up these things if there's anything in regards to money. And also, since people are doing Christmas shopping around these times, as we have, as we're having a square between your 2nd house of finances and resources, and Mars here impulsive with unrealistic Neptune, make sure you don't just overspend on Christmas packages, or spend what you have, what you can afford, but also Since it's linking to the 11th house, it could be you planning something about the future where you are not you aren't realistic. Okay, you just want to start out this new enterprising business where you're a travel guide around the world, blah, blah, blah. But do you have the money to start it? You know, do you have enough money to do this future planning that you're having? It can also be something about that. Clarity. Make yourself clear in a new way, and you will have amazing opportunities within your worldly interactions with other people. Arigatou gozaimasu. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. See you in section 2. Thanks for watching this section, Aquarius. Welcome to section 2 for the light workers, forerunners and second wavers, where we take it one step deeper. This time we're still in Tokyo. Tokyo nights, cruising around, flying above Japan and Russia. 2 of my regular viewers have now shared with me that they started on this channel only watching the report for their sign, section 1. 1 from Denmark, 1 from Mexico. Feeling that suddenly they felt ready for going one step further, down or in or up. They were suddenly able to understand and integrate the things I said in another way. So if some information seemed to be too much for you to understand right now, just let it stand in line in front of your ear to enter exactly when you are ready to integrate this information. It's all good. With Venus and Mercury now in Scorpio, it's time to deeply connect with ourselves and others, to communicate and even emotionally rationalize on perhaps one of the deepest levels we are going to enter for a while. Take advantage of that. 5D methods. This is your 5D update number 1. Again, I call it 5D, but it's really multidimensional. It's a way for you to understand that the 3D reality, where only what you can touch, feel and see, the scientific world, is not the only thing existing. You are just not aware of when you enter into other dimensions. The more you can increase your awareness about that, the better and easier your life will become, and the easier it will be to know what step to take next in every moment of your life. So, are you doubting your spirituality? Instead of reading and hearing about other people's experiences with spirituality, we can suggest the universe or God or our higher selves, whatever we want to call upon, to give us intuition about how to work our way towards this peace, this calmness, this openness, this awareness of unity, and experience it for ourselves. This week's topic is inspired by my own experience over 20 years in combination with 2 people with similar experiences to mine and their conversation. I refer to Joshua Polak and KAMLESH PATEL. You can write down the names if you want to search upon more information about these 2 fellas. So, once upon a time, I heard some people talk about samadhi. So I remember I was only 20 and my father had given me a book where it said, samadhi is a profound state of inner equanimity where you drift beyond yourself, beyond the here and now, beyond everything, into eternity. Such an interesting thing to read about, but it was only mental. It was not integrated in me. But I clearly felt I was longing for it. I heard my intuition say, this is where you really want to go. Sometimes people don't think they are able to meditate. They just don't have the mind or body for it. And they say, meditation isn't for me. Here I might add, yet, because it's just a door anyone can walk through with the right guidance. When the heart is at peace, the mind is at rest. And as the two gentlemen before mentioned, might add, well, it's a really nice way to start with the heart. I say that too. Many traditions start with the heart. Heartfulness, amongst others. And before I even met heartfulness, I did it. So the soul knows already that when the heart is satisfied, the mind can attain the higher knowledge we consciously and subconsciously want to return to. So that we can bring a balance in our whole body, mind and soul, heart and mind. Like the holistic circle. But often we are dominated by various mental and emotional tendencies that we inherit. We need methods to clean and balance them if we want to get out of miseries, like a spring cleaning. Sometimes in life we meet a spiritual master, and this actually happens more within as without, or externalization. Sometimes we meet a physical spiritual master, which reflects the state we are inside, or ready to come into, or be guided towards. Whether or not you have met this, if you're on this channel still viewing, you're ready to expand somehow. Your higher self has called you to listen to this. Could have been anyone else saying the same things. It doesn't matter. You're ready. Some level. Of course, sometimes people need food on the table more than they need conversations with God, with other dimensions, or stuff like that. First things first. Thing is that a book or a show like this can give us wisdom and can give us knowledge. But it cannot make us wise or make us experience the wisdom ourselves. We can be guided, but we gotta really want it and learn to follow our inner voice, our intuition. We gotta do it ourselves. A spiritual source can never be found externally. It may reflect what you are, in which state, but it can only be found within through your intention and awareness and work. Even though you find a spiritual master, you have to work for it. Seek the life beyond the 3 dimensions, the essence beyond the form, the light behind the heavy, the wisdom beyond the ignorance, is what I heard the 2 guys say. A spiritual state can only be felt, not mentally thought. We feel with our hearts open, so we need to work upon keeping them open. A benefit is that with open hearts, we can receive and give love, like open arms and open hands. With closed heart and hands, we don't receive anything. Again, experience is greater than knowledge. In the lecture, you can learn the principles. In the laboratory, you get practical experience, he said. You have to use yourself fully to be and make this experiment. You have to use yourself. You are the experiments. Otherwise, how can you say, well, there is no other way for me to be and to experience life? There are no other dimensions, if you haven't tried it. Why meditate? Well, why not? We're back at that conversation. People have different reasons, like people have different reasons for buying a car or doing whatever in your life. to gain, could it be? To find inner peace, it could be. To get relief from a stressful life, to get mental clarity, to have and achieve emotional balance, to relax, to physically reduce your blood pressure. Then when you start, you'll get benefits that far exceeds these goals. A profound sense of spiritual well-being. Meditation simply normalizes your inner state, whatever it may be. So if someone is stressed, this person will say that it reduces stress. If someone is emotionally unstable, this person will say that it stabilizes emotions. An aggressive and mad person will say it makes you loving, they said in their conversation. I loved that conversation. But what does meditation do? It creates naturalness. When you move forward with natural or naturally, the unnatural will disappear automatically. There are thousands of ways of being unnatural, but only one way of being natural. What a nice way to put it. Why meditate? Well, today's reason may be different from tomorrow, and as we meditate, wisdom grows. Like for me in the beginning, it was just to get peace of mind. But now I see it's the only way. I expand and evolve through this, and my ego is released more and more. Gets more refined. Freedom and peace, but also a clear contact with my higher purpose for being here. I simply hear my higher self better year after year, meditating. And now also hear and also see often the higher selves of others too. So you might ask, is this an infinite journey here, life on planet Earth? If we reincarnate too, do you ever reach the goal? If there was a final stop, they said, you would stop growing and moving, evolution would stop. So they said that we must be willing to change to help evolution, become flexible, because it's never stopping where you are now. They said that it was like an asymptote, a line, and a curve, where the curve is getting closer and closer to the line to intersect. They're getting closer, but they never touch infinitely. It's the same with spirituality and perfection, they said. Isn't it interesting? And what it is that we move towards is to become less selfish, less reactive, have less identification with our egos. And we get free from the formulas, because we expand into other dimensions, as I always talk about. And we get into a peaceful state instead of the restless. And we become more authentic. We are following our hearts instead of trends, as I also always said. Instead of being superficial, we find our authentic purpose. We start accepting others as they are, instead of insisting on that they become like us. We become more balanced, and we step more into the light. The purpose of meditation is to transform us. Like self-development, psychiatry, and religion does or do. We live in the age of knowledge here, the age of Aquarius. Any knowledge, scientific or spiritual, is accessible to us at the internet, the age of Aquarius. But knowledge cannot change us. This is the point. To know about love and to feel and express it are two different things. And this is interesting, right? Because if teachings was enough, they said, we would all be transformed by now. You may believe in the omnipresence of God, but do you feel it? That is the difference. Through meditation, we go within and find something higher. Not always, not every time. When I meditate, it's different, because sometimes it's hard, because I have a lot of cleaning and clearing out of old thoughts. So I don't get into the state, because I'm washing away all the dirt of my mind, the mental things that keeps me out of touch with my heart and the fear and la la la. So it's not a given that is every time. So it's not because now you're suddenly bad at meditating. It's simply because you haven't showered something out. And this layer you have to pass to re-enter the source, the core. And this means that meditation is not a waste. And it's not called a bad meditation. It's simply because the meditation turned into a cleaning process, so that you then afterwards again can enter this something higher. But again, through meditation, we go within and we find something higher. And that is why we can meditate anywhere. We don't have to do anything but close our eyes and sit quietly, nothing but that. It took me years to think that I didn't need to sit in a special room, in a special chair, with a special kind of guidance. I could do it anywhere. But now you are told otherwise. Many people say that. At the time I started meditating, it wasn't that normal in Denmark, where I come from. So, again, you don't have to do anything but close your eyes and sit quietly. This is how we get practical experience. Do it over and over again, and know that you have to get past all the noise and the clutter that has been building up because you haven't cleaned your mind or cleared your mind, maybe for ages, maybe for weeks, maybe for your whole life. So you need to get past this to reach these stages. You have to work for it. Take enough showers mentally. If I skip my meditations and a lot of actions are going on, I also need to do it to get back to this condition and continue the journey from here. And I feel after all these years that the need to be me, the ego me, and the person I was dissolves more and more. It loses its meaning. And that is due to me surrendering to all of this. It's not that it loses the meaning to be my higher self, but the meaning of my ego to have any sort of status diminishes, becomes less and less important. And it is so liberating and amazing. I don't have to be someone or something special to feel love. That's the gift. Because I feel the love automatically when I lose the ego. Or it becomes a tool, I might correct. Once you learn how to meditate and you become able to take it into your daily life with you, you will find yourself walking and talking with poise. Such a fine English word, which can be translated into something like to say only what's necessary to bring a message across, or share the essence and do it gracefully. Having this special peaceful condition meditation can give you while you are talking with other people. This is special. It changes all your conversations. Enough about that, more another time. I just want to say bring periods of silence into your speech is a great idea. A very great idea. So follow the link below to listen to more of the before mentioned conversation between KAMLESH and Joshua, the Heartfulness Way. Of course, this was just my own conversation interlinked with their conversation. So it won't be exactly as this, but it will be very, very inspiring, probably more inspiring than this. So follow the link. So let's wrap this up by saying meditation is one way of breaking down the barriers of dimensions, making you into more and more of the truths you already hold. The answers you are seeking to why you experience the things you do in this life. What the meaning is of your life, your purpose. There's not only the 3 dimensions that most of us humans experience. There are so many more that we step in and out of subconsciously. I call these reports the 5D upgrades, but it's simplified and easier for most to grasp. That's why I called it 5D, since we can only take so and so many steps at the time in our ascension process without pushing it. Also meaning that we can only understand so and so much. If you want to try to meditate for free and want me to find your teacher, go to my website www, or just skip that, just write Modern Shaman, MODERNSHAMAN.DK. That is modernshaman.dk. See the link at the bottom of the text underneath this video. And find the contact information to me at the very top of the page in the blue section. Next week, we will go further into the different dimensions and how we experience them and why. And how time doesn't exist. A deeper explanation to why this is one big illusion. Let us take one step at a time. Hugs, your modern shaman. Don't follow trends. Follow your heart. See you next week.
There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up. Try again, one day you will break through. What you long for will find you.
Don't follow trends, follow your heart.